bought that $20,000 cake? I just need to make eye contact with you. I love you. That was amazing. Good evening, everyone. My name is Katrina Davis. My now 25-year-old son attended this remarkable school from December 2001 to June 2006. At age 2, Arthur lit up the DSM-4 Autism Spectrum Criteria Checklist with very pronounced characteristics. Toe walking, he spin the lids, finger stim, peripheral of his vision. He didn't have much shared gaze. He didn't respond to his name, and he lined up anything he could get his hands on in perfect precision. And he focused a lot on putting his hand on the back of your throat when you were talking, because I think the humming was very soothing to him. So these were pretty amazing things that he did. And I remember telling family and friends, our little guy, he's just processing the world differently. And he was. Arthur is here tonight alongside his incredible father. Clapping for himself. There he is. I asked Arthur in a way that I think he would understand if it's okay if we talk about his story tonight, and he said yes. Thank you so much, Arthur. You work harder than anyone I know, and I'm so very proud of you. Arthur's older sister, Jace, is here tonight, too. She's a proud Haring Center graduate. And she's a magnificent big sister who taught her brother Arthur how to smile. Fortunately, Arthur's doctor took our concerns seriously, and within a few months we had a diagnosis. Or should I say, a yellow sticky with the words autism, moderate to severe, given to us on a Friday at 4 o'clock. Leaving that office with nothing more than a scribbled diagnosis was shocking and overwhelming. No prognosis, no recommendations, and very little information about a condition that I knew at the time could mean very minimal supports to extremely high supports. We weren't sure what came next for us or for Arthur. There were no expectations of Supreme Court justice or Major League Baseball player, but instead we wondered the small things like, would Arthur be included? Would he have friends? Would he ride a bike, enjoy a good book, experience meaningful work, or someday have a partner? There was grief, which is a natural response to loss. Loss of the life you envisioned for your child. I was not grieving who Arthur was. I was not disliking autism, but I ached and grieved knowing he may have a tough road ahead, and no parent wants their child to suffer. Diagnosed in 2001, the rate of autism had climbed to what we thought was alarming, 1 in 500. Before that, it was 1 in 1,000 and 5,000 and 10,000. And 2025, it is 1 in 31. There was talk of a cure back then, but for many of us, it was never about cure or fix. It was about reaching potential, building skills, fostering strengths. After all, it's his brain, it's his very essence. You can't fix essence. But with very high support needs, inability to communicate, and Arthur experienced some challenging behaviors. He didn't just wander either, he bolted. Some of you might know that about you. Arthur needed targeted, individualized services and supports, not to change him, but to help him reach his potential. Arthur was experiencing the world differently, he really was, but the world was not adapting, adjusting, or accommodating him. We needed help and we needed hope. And so did Arthur. And then we found the Haring Center at the EEU. The first person we met was Chris Matsumoto. I know he's not here tonight. He put family first, but what a guy, right? He was Arthur's birth to 3 classroom teacher. My shoulders dropped when Chris started off by identifying Arthur's strengths and skills. And when he said, let's help Arthur be the best he can be, I knew Arthur was part of something very special, sacred, at a time of limited and more often non-existent services for autistic people or people with intellectual and developmental disability. I would describe the growth and the progress Arthur made in those 5 years at the EEU as astounding. I could tell Arthur felt like home here. He loved going to school. He'd strut to his seat on the bus, give a sideways glance back as it drove away as if to say, I'm good, I got this. He'd come home smelling like graham crackers, colored marker stains on his hands, artwork and worksheets in his backpack to be displayed proudly, and they were. There was a deep peace knowing he was learning from the very best, surrounded by beautiful diversity that reflected a world we longed for, at a school that values with unconditional appreciation who Arthur is, not what he could or couldn't do. To my fellow parents of the graduating class of 2006, we sat in that observation room, foxhole, as Tom referred to it, drinking coffee like it was water, watching and learning as our children were coached, guided, and nurtured among their non-disabled peers in a richly diverse and inclusive classrooms. It was amazing to think, it is amazing to think, everyone, that those same strong bonds and life-changing connections are happening now among you parents. It's really beautiful. Arthur's early years at this school set the tone and direction for his life, transformed fear into optimism, and beautifully exceeded what I thought this one precious life could offer. The heart and soul of the Haring Center are the teachers, the staff, the leadership, authentic, deeply caring, and skilled people who exemplify the power of inclusion and equity. Parents in this room who have children at the EEU, I have some good news for you, and I think you know it. Just as we discovered 20 years ago, you have been given a very precious gift, a lasting gift, this extraordinary place. When Arthur started at the EEU, the data project was brand new, cutting-edge, developmentally appropriate intervention for children with autism. Successful outcomes, advanced policy, which led to funding, which led to services, actual services, which were not covered back then, but they are now. Thank you, Eileen Schwartz. Your legacy is the hope and light you instill in each child that scrambles the hallways of the Haring Center. The Haring Center is always moving forward, evolving, expanding their impact through research, training, education, and consistently on the forefront of defining what inclusion and justice look like for neurodiverse children. This work is too important. We cannot go back. Our kids can't wait for the light to shine on them. But rest assured, after being a student at the Haring Center, they will show the world they are the light. Thank you.